Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we just want to explain to you, and we're asking a serious question. How did Makanda's panel shortlist Ruto's loyalist? How? Operation leader Jamii filed a petition in High Court Naivasha under certificate of urgency asking the High Court to check onto the matter. We sought the direction of High Court of Naivasha to grant conservatory orders stopping the possible nomination and eventual appointment as chairperson and commissioners of IEBC of 1, Mr. Charles Nyachae, and 2, Mrs. Joy Mudivo. While Justice Grace Nzioka of the Naivasha High Court found it urgent and ordered the parties to appear in court the same day, and the next day gave direction recusing herself from prosecuting this matter, stating that her own supervisee, Justice Lorot, had also applied for the same position, so she saw conflict of interest should she go ahead to stop Charles Nyachae and Joy Mudibo from continuing the process. The case was transferred after she recused herself to Nairobi, Minimani Law Courts, but unfortunately, Justice Chacha Mwita has declined to consider the case as urgent, sending this case for mention on 28th of July, which will be a time when the chairperson of IEBC and the IEBC Commission will have been sworn into office. We have filed the case for the second time, but the same direction has been given by Justice Chacha Mwita. We're asking ourselves, what is so different from High Court Naivasha and High Court Milimani? How much interest are at play in the formation of the IEBC that the court cannot be allowed to act independently? The orders we are seeking would be damning indictment of the Makanda-led selection panel, whose actions so far have cast serious doubts on the credibility on this entire selection process. You will remember, there are some people who have been shortlisted for interviews who are not even in the original application. We take this opportunity to raise the red flags early enough on how Dr. Nelson Makanda's panel arrived at a shortlist that reads like a selection panel of the Ruto regime loyalists. The IEBC is supposed to be an independent electoral body, yet the Makanda-led panel deliberately shortlisted individuals with clear political affiliations and with clear credibility challenges. Specifically, we have objected the shortlisting of Mr. Charles Nyachae and Mrs. Joy Mudivo. Mr. Nyachae is the sitting chairperson of the Council of Kenya School of Government. How can a state officer serve in institution of independence in a government-controlled organization? Mr. Nyachae is also a perennial government appointee and recycled bureaucrat whom we believe will serve the current political establishment called the broad-based government and not the people of Kenya. Further, we have put evidence in court demonstrating that Mr. Nyachae is listed in CRB. How then would we entrust him with the 66 billion shillings that should be used for IEBC process of election when himself is on CRB with coming from a family feud, he's fighting serious extramarital issues in court? How much time will he get to actually dedicate his time to IEBC? Mrs. Joy Mudibo, on the other hand, is the current chairperson of Board of Directors at Kenya Power and Lighting Company, a state-controlled entity. This is a direct violation of the constitutional requirement for independence of IEBC. Even more damning, she serves as the chairperson of the Electoral Disputes and Resolution Committee of UDA. This is a blatant conflict of interest. How can a party insider be trusted to run an election which should be free and fair? We therefore would like to put Kenyans on high alert. Election rigging does not start on the voting day. It begins with unlawful capture of the IEBC. The Ruto regime is laying the grounds for 2027 election, in which the outcome they want to control how the votes will be casted and how the votes will be counted. Furthermore, we want to put the Makanda-led panel on notice in the following ways. 1. If the 2027 election process turns out flawed, it will be held responsible for it. 2. If Kenyans lose faith in the electoral process, Israel is in this history recorded as a panel that violated Kenyans' interest. 3rd, if the country is plunged into post-election crisis, the blood of Kenyans will be in their hands. So, you still have a chance to do the right thing, Mr. Makanda. Withdraw the flawed shortlist, restart the process, and ensure that only truly independent individuals are considered for these crucial positions. Also ensure the youths and people with disability get their constitutional representation in this commission. If you fail to do so, you will forever be remembered as the panel that sold Kenya's democracy to the highest bidder. We demand as following. Following the High Court decision, Operation Jamii demands as follows. The immediate nullification of the current shortlist of the IEBC chair and even commissions. 2, a fresh, transparent, and lawful selection process that ensures only qualified independent individuals are shortlisted. 3, an investigation into the selection panel's conduct to determine whether political interference played a role in this compromise process. And at the end, executive interference with the IEBC selection process should also be investigated. Let me state that Kenya belongs to people, not to one man. The people of Kenya have fought too hard for democracy to allow it to be stolen through a fraudulent IEBC appointments. We call on civil society, religious leaders, and all Kenyans to reject this blatant attempt to subvert free and fair elections. The High Court has failed. Now it's up to every Kenyan to stand and defend the democracy of our republic. By Kenyans, elections are being rigged today, not in 2027.